What's going on, guys? Jerry Neutron here, and I'm back with another video. Today in this episode of Jerry Neutron Builds Sh, I'm going to put together a $600 gaming PC. So it's been a while since I've put together one of these builds, so I thought I would throw together an updated version. So that's what we're going to do here today. This is what I like to call my cheap but not cheap gaming PC. It's low in price, but it doesn't have cheap components. You probably can put together something for a little cheaper using more baseline products, but I like what I have come up with here. Let's go ahead and just take a look at it. The first thing that we are starting with is the CPU. So for that, I've selected the AMD Athlon X4 860K. So this is a 3.7 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's unlocked, so you can overclock it to squeak out a little bit of extra performance. It's quad-core, so it's not going to lock you out of any games, unlike the G3258. It doesn't have blazing fast single-threaded performance, but that's fine. It will get the job done, especially in a budget build. So to go along with that and support the overclocking potential that you have with this CPU, we are choosing the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. This will allow you to push this CPU a little bit, get a little bit of extra performance out of it. You don't have to overclock if you don't want to, just throwing it in there as an option for you. So we are connecting that all to this Gigabyte motherboard. This is the GA-F2A88X-UP4. Ridiculously long name. But this board is actually kind of high-end for an FM2 platform, but I thought it was pretty solid in terms of the feature sets that you get. So that's kind of why I've chosen this. No reason to back off and go with a cheap board just because you're on a budget build. Go ahead and get your money's worth. So also to go along with that, I have chosen the G.Skill Aries RAM. This is an 8 gigabyte kit at 1600 megahertz. It doesn't really match the build, but for the price of this RAM, you're getting RAM with good timings, cast latency of 9. You can't really beat that for the price of right now $47. I use it in my rig personally. It's low profile, so you don't really have to worry about it getting in the way of the Hyper 212 Evo in terms of clearance. All around good RAM for the price. Now with this build, we're not going to be running an SSD. You can add one if you have room in your budget, but I would rather be able to store all of those Steam games. That's why in this case I've gone with a 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue hard drive. Again, it's just cheap storage for your games, around 50 bucks. It'll definitely get you started. And for the graphics card, so this is a new one. We have the 300 series that just came out. And I'm going with the Radeon R9 380 here. Now before they had the R9 285, which kind of went head-to-head with the GTX 960. And personally, I didn't like either one of those cards. I thought they were a terrible bargain in terms of their price to performance. Well, the 380 has improved upon the R9 285, so it's a little bit faster, and it's only 200 bucks right now. So I would go ahead and pick that up. This is the 2 gigabyte version. They do offer a 4 gigabyte version, which is about 30 bucks more. Not really a fan of it at that price point. You can still get an R9 280X around that price, which is gonna beat this card easily. So unless you absolutely need the most up-to-date current card, I would hold off on the R9 380 4 gigabyte edition and go to the 280X. Or otherwise, if you only have 200 bucks, the R9 380 2 gigabyte edition is perfect. What we're going to actually get for the power supply, because this is very important as well, you don't want to skimp on your power supply, as it can actually kill other components in your PC. So in this case, we're going with the Seasonic M12-2 620 Bronze Evo edition. Now this one is fully modular. It is an 80 plus bronze certified power supply. It's about 80 bucks, so not too expensive. I like having a modular power supply as it cleans up your builds a lot. Just because you have a budget build doesn't mean you need to have a lot of sloppy cables sitting all throughout your case. So this will give you the opportunity to connect only the cables you need and keep your build clean. Also, it's coming from a reliable brand in Seasonic, so you don't have to worry about any quality issues there. So, plus it's got these all black cables. It's pretty good. Those are actually going to look really nice in your build instead of having the ones that have like the red and yellow and green and all that kind of crap in there. And then moving on to the case, of course, we have the NZXT S340 in black. So I was actually supposed to get this case for review back in December from NZXT. I don't know what happened, but still a pretty good case either way. Pretty much everyone that has one is satisfied with it. So for a budget case, this is really one of the top choices that you want to be looking at. I wouldn't necessarily use it for a more high-end build. I think there are some better options out there, but for $600, if you can fit this in your budget, you're going to be doing pretty well. And that is what I have put together. You may come around to just a little bit more than $600. So in this case, we're at about $632, so it's worth it. If you're coming over from console, this is a good place to start for a gaming PC build. You don't have to go into a super high-end build right away. If you can't afford it, this will break you in. You'll be able to get those extra frame rates that you weren't getting on console because you're locked into 30 FPS. And overall, this is just a really solid build that I think you'll be satisfied with. So you guys let me know what you think about this build down in the comments below. Is there anything that you would change or anything that you think is a bad part in this build? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Like this video if you have found it helpful or entertaining. Subscribe for more similar content, and until next time, I'm out of here, guys. See ya. Today we're going to take a look at actually the first all-in-one cooler I've reviewed on this channel. This is the Antec Cooler H2O 1250.